Well, hello there. Welcome to Leftover Venison. It's Tuesday, the 16th of November, and a Tuesday on this channel can mean only one thing. It's Amazon Flex Tuesdays. Let's go. We've got a little bit of a different show today. Basically, if you've been tuning into the previous episodes, this is episode 3. If you've been tuning into the previous episodes, you'll know that I talk about what work I could pick up, how much I'm going to be paid, and so on. But today, I'm not looking for work. I just don't have time for it. So I've got no time today to do Amazon Flex, but I still wanted to do the Amazon Flex Tuesday to talk about some things from Amazon Flex World. That exciting land, the place of flexing. Anyway, basically, I'm going to answer a few questions that have been asked in the comments on the videos over the last week or so. So there's all sorts of questions being asked. Quite often it's the same things again and again, which is fine. I do usually answer them in the comments, but some of these ones I haven't. Some I have, but I figure not everyone reads comments on YouTube videos. I mean, who does that really? Probably not many people. So over the last week, I've picked out a bunch of questions. I can't really remember what they all are, so I'm going to kind of do them on the fly. But let's go with question number 1. And before I start the questions here, actually, later in the video, I'll talk about the last Amazon Flex block I did on Thursday just gone, which was a bit of a nightmare, really, to be honest. It wasn't good. It wasn't much fun at all. I've been talking to one of the guys in the comments, the boss or something, Big Boss maybe, I don't know. Hello, Big Boss, if you're watching. If you're not, then, fine. Then hello to everyone else. But anyway, so I was chatting to him, and he noticed the same sort of thing where he is. I think he was down south somewhere, Kent maybe. I want to say Kent. I'm not sure why. But I've been talking to quite a few of the guys in the comments here, and so that came up was it's really quiet on the app where he is, and it is where I am as well, or it is for me anyway. I don't know if other people in the northeast are having the same thing. Are you in the northeast? And if you are you having really quiet times on the old swiping? Is there nothing coming up, or just base rates basically? That's all I'm seeing, basic rate or like slightly higher than basic. And if you want anything more than basic, you have to really, really look for it. So anyway, I did a block on Thursday, a Prime Now block, and I'll talk about that after I've answered these couple of questions here. So we've got question 1. Let's do it. Hi, very helpful channel. Well, thanks. Quick question. I've registered my 4-year-old Hyundai i40 SW in the app. Still waiting for the background check. You might be waiting a while, but maybe not. Depends on where you are and depends how busy they are. Are there any limits or rules about car age, etc.? What will happen if I arrive at the depot in my 16-year-old Mariva instead of my 4-year-old Hyundai? Can I swap my car in the app? Yeah, you can. You can turn up in anything, really. The only real restriction that Amazon Flex puts on you is that you should have a 5-door vehicle, so not a 3-door. But I have seen people turn up in 3 doors and still doing it. But as far as the age of the vehicle goes, I mean, as long as it gets you around to deliver the parcels, I don't think they give a toss, to be honest. So I've seen people turn up in all sorts, like from Teslas all the way to, junk piles, basically like 3-door polos. So to go back to this, are there any limits or rules about car age? Nah, no. You can turn up. I mean, like I say, the only real rule is that you should have a 5-door. But at our depots, I've never seen it enforced. I've definitely seen lots of people there with 3 doors, so you should be fine. And can you change it in the app? Yeah, just go in your settings and change which vehicle you're driving, and that's it, basically. It's in the settings. I've got a video on the basics, and there's a section in there how to change things like that in your settings. If I can figure out where it is, and then if I can figure out how to link it, I'll link it at the top here. If not, then there'll be nothing at the top. Go figure. But it's in my Amazon playlist, so I'll link that in the description. You can go and find that there. So basically, yeah, you can swap in the app. You just switch it over as and when you like. Really, like personally, I use a car, and I used to use a van. I've gotten rid of the van now, but I used to use a van. So I used to use them interchangeably, depending on what I was doing. If I was doing logistics, usually I'd bring the van. If I was doing a Prime Now, I'd just bring the car normally. Let's see, question 2. Oh, actually, well, this one kind of follows on from question 1, so let's rattle on with this one first. Thanks for all the advice, mate. Well, that's no bother. I'm down in Leeds and very interested in doing Flex. Only thing worrying me is that it would be in a 2017 Zafira. That's a Vauxhall Zafira, for those who maybe aren't from the UK. It's a nice low mileage car for now. It's also a petrol, so I'm worried about wear and tear on the car as well as petrol, as it's definitely not as economical as a diesel. What car do you use? Do you think that most cars can take the abuse, and is it really worth it financially? This is quite a big question, really. As far as the 2017 Zafira goes, well, it depends how economical it is. I really don't know how economical this 2017 Zafira is. If you're only getting 25, 30 mile a gallon, I would probably not bother. But still, I mean, even if you're just getting that, as long as the block's not massive, you're still going to make a bit of money. But maybe steer clear of the base rate blocks, if you know what I'm saying. Wait for a better paying blocks. Worried about wear and tear on the vehicle? Yeah, well, I mean, you will have wear and tear on your vehicle. So if you're using a newer vehicle, like, unless you're using Flex like it's designed to be used, which is basically as a little top-up earner. So, like, personally, I do maybe like 1, 2 a week sometimes, 1 or 2 a week, sometimes none a week. Like this week, I'm not doing any. I don't think any flex shift. So if you're only doing 1 flex shift a week, you'll be fine with the wear and tear. But if you're planning on working a lot of Amazon Flex blocks, then personally, I probably wouldn't use a newer vehicle, because frankly, it wouldn't be worth it for the damage you're going to do to that car where you're stopping and starting. Economical, like, I don't know. Obviously, petrol, yeah, it's not as economical as a diesel. A 2017 vehicle, I really don't know. I don't know how economical it is. If you do know, drop it in the comments. Let me know how economical a 2017 Zafira is. But I genuinely don't know. But if you're getting around 30 mile a gallon, I would definitely be careful in terms of which blocks I would accept. Maybe probably wouldn't accept basic rate £13 an hour blocks. What vehicle do you use? Well, like I was saying just previously there, I use a car, and I used to use a van. I no longer have the van. I just use my car now, which is a 2018 Seat Leon Estate diesel. It's very economical. It gets somewhere between 50 and 60 to the gallon. But like I say, I hardly do any flex in the scheme of things. I only do 1 a week usually, 1 flex shift, and economically wise, my car's absolutely fine for that, and size wise, it fits in anything I could possibly need. So that was just a little follow on to question 1. It's just kind of taken us a bit longer than I thought it would. Okay, so question number 2. Hi mate, apologies if this has been asked before, but do you know which car insurance companies are best for Amazon Flex? I've contacted a few of the big companies, and they're all saying they don't allow top-up insurance. Well, I'm afraid I don't. I really don't know. I'm not an expert on insurance. I use Churchill insurance. I had to think for a second there. I use Churchill, but I do have business cover on my insurance as well, and they topped that up. They accepted the Amazon top up, no bother at all. So I'm not sure if it matters on your policy. I don't know if it matters where you live and your location on your no claims. Maybe say I've got like 15 years no claims, and like I say, I've got business use on. They're not high end reward courier insurance, but I do have business cover, so they accepted that without any problems. Who did I use before Churchill? I think it was Admiral, and I didn't have any problem with them either, if I remember right. So off the top of my head, I mean, like I say, I didn't have any bother with Churchill and Admiral. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm afraid. No, I don't know. If anybody knows, then pop it in the comments here, and maybe I'll mention it in the next video. See if we can help some of the guys out. Something else to follow on from insurance. Insurance is something that comes up again and again and again. You must let your insurer know that you're doing Amazon deliveries, or well, that you're doing delivery work of any kind, and that you have top-up insurance, because it may well invalidate your own car insurance if you don't let them know. Again, I've got full videos on insurance where there's more information. I can't really go into too much detail here because this is just a short Amazon Flex Tuesdays video. Let's go on to the next one. Question 3. Thanks for the video. No bother. What are the other self-employed jobs than Amazon Flex? Can you make videos and share some info? That's like quite a broad topic again. So I spoke to this guy who had a couple of comment exchanges, and I think he wants to know what my other self-employed jobs are. Well, basically, I used to work, when I had the van, I was a dog walker, which, I mean, is much more lucrative than it sounds. So I did that for self-employed. I did that for like 6-7 years, which was great, and it fit around my family life quite well. And as well as that, I work as I run like an online retailer. We make handmade cards, personalized cards and stuff like that. I do all the computer work, all the customer service things, all the design, all the website stuff. It's really quite busy. So this is actually the office, and I've got like basically we've got cards all over the place. You know, I've got cards sitting here, made up cards, ready to be posted. We make all sorts of stuff, sell all sorts of gear. So that's one of my businesses. We sell handmade cards and gifts, which is it's awesome, really. I mean, it's really taken off over the last few years, and approaching like 6 figures a year, which is, I mean, never expected it. Never expected it at all, but I'm really pleased. So I've managed to give up the dog walking, which, I mean, you know, it's nice not to be outside in the crappy weather in the northeast of England. But I do miss the dog walking. It was a canny gig, and it kept the weight off it. I'm now piling back on. But well, that's another story. So anyway, but he wanted to know that, and then I think he kind of wants to know what other sort of self-employed delivery work is available. Well, obviously there's lots and lots of things you could do. You could work for Hermes. You could work for Yodel. You could work for any of those sort of courier companies. They're always looking for people. You could, of course, work for DSP, full-time Amazon delivery work, which we covered in the last video. I mean, I wouldn't fancy that myself, but some people might. And what other means of self-employment is it? This is everything. You could do anything you want. You could do anything you want. Anything that you're good at, you could do. You could sell your skills. Whatever it is, I mean, just, you know, get out there, get cracking if you've got some ideas for being self-employed. I prefer being self-employed. I like setting my own schedule. I like working when I can work. But working for a courier company and a DSP, I don't think it's being self-employed. Check out the previous video on that and see what you think. But I honestly don't think that that's being self-employed. So the next question, anyway. Question 4. Hi there. I'm new in Amazon Flex, and I have a question about the reserved blocks. Haven't we all? Why almost all of my reserved blocks are out of my schedule time and out of my preferred stations? And how to change availability in my calendar without this option. Thank you in advance. So, it's important to point out that, like, I don't work for Amazon Flex. I'm a subcontractor for Amazon Flex. I don't know the answers to all these questions. So Amazon, why are offers showing up outside your scheduled time? Well, because they just send you whatever. They don't care what your scheduled time says, because the schedule in the calendar doesn't actually work all the time, and out of your preferred stations. Well, it's the same reason. They just send you whatever. They're not bothered what your schedule says. They're just sending out whatever jobs need doing, basically. How to change availability in my calendar without this option. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but you can change your availability in the calendar all you like I say, but you're still going to get those offers. So unfortunately, I don't really have a full answer for this question, but it is pretty annoying when you get an offers outside of your reserved times and areas that you want to work. Like, for example, I keep getting reserves for Morrison's in Middlesbrough, which is absolutely miles from me, and I've filtered that out, but they keep coming through. So everyone's in the same boat, I'm afraid. I don't know why Amazon Flex do this like that, but it's just one of them. As an experienced flexer, do you get emails from Amazon that are a bit threatening about how they can take your Flex membership away? Are these common, or is it just me? Basically, they have dropped my rating as well because I returned parcels. Both reason was due to a locker being in a shop and the shop being closed. Yeah, I have had a couple of emails from Amazon where they will sound threatening and they will drop your rating. My rating's only fair, through absolutely no fault of my own. I know everyone's probably going to say that, but it genuinely isn't. And Amazon Flex support couldn't give a monkey's what you've got to say half the time. Sometimes you will get a human on the end, and they will take into account what you're saying and rectify their ratings change or whatever. But usually, if you email Amazon Flex, you get a generic response from somebody who doesn't really seem to understand what you're saying, or maybe doesn't have English as their first language, or even like it feels like a bot response sometimes. So I don't know, but yeah, I've had them. I'm sure other people who've been doing Flex for a while will have as well. I'm like into 4 years of doing Amazon Flex. I've had a couple, and like I say, my rating has dropped to fair because I had an issue once. It's not a very interesting story, but I had an issue once and it dropped the rating down, even though there was nothing I could do about it at all. And yeah, well, that's it. That's the 5 questions I'm going to answer today. But back to this Thursday block that I did. So, and talking to the boss or Big Boss or whatever he's called in the comments, Big Boss maybe, yeah, Big Boss. Talking to Big Boss in the comments. There's less work on, less drivers seem to be about. Like when I went to the station to pick this up, it was on Thursday 2 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, 2 o'clock-ish anyway. So I went there to pick it up, and I was the only one there. There was no other drivers there, and usually it's really busy at the station for the Prime Now blocks. There was no one else there. So I got in there. It was a 2.5 hour block, and it had 11 drops. That's okay. I mean, on the face of it, so I thought, well, that's not too bad. But when I scanned the things in and I looked at the map, I was all over the place. I picked this up at Gateshead. This will mean nothing to anybody who's not from here. In Gateshead, I had to go north of the Tyne, right up to the very, very north end of Newcastle, make a few drops there, and then I had to drive all the way through back south of the Tyne. Let me assure you, crossing the Tyne Bridge is not easy at the moment, especially not with the bullshit Gateshead Council have going on with road closures and stuff. But this will mean nothing to anybody who's not from here. But anyway, I had to travel a massive distance. So I travelled maybe, I don't know, like, I think it was about 20 miles to the first drop, to the north of Newcastle, over the bridge, over the river, through the city centre, and then up into the north of the city. I had 4 or 5 drops there, and then I had to go all the way back through, south of where I live. I live in County Durham, so I had to go down south, way past Durham, and make a bunch of drops down there, and then back home. So it really wasn't worth it. It was a 2.5 hour block. I paid 33 quid, and I wish I hadn't done it. But I spoke to the guy there who brought the trolley out, and I was asking him about this, and I was saying, how come I'm the only one here? How come I've got this massive area to cover? What's going on? And he said he thinks they're giving out less work to the drivers at the moment to keep them hungry. So basically, they want us to come back to work and do massive amounts of deliveries over their Black Friday fortnight or week or whatever the hell it is. So over the Black Friday period, that's what they want. So they want you gagging for work, basically. They want you to come and work when it's going to be really busy. So there's less work going out at the moment. Or that's what that guy said. I mean, he's just like a trolley guy, you know. I don't know if he knows anything about it, but that's what he said. He said he thinks that's what the case is. That's what his supervisor was saying, that there's less work and they're condensing routes together. And that will kind of make sense as to why there's way less work on the app. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know for sure. So, like, I'm not doing any flex work this week. I'm just too busy. I thought I would answer these few questions. I would touch on last Thursday's block, which was a nightmare. Really, it took us the full 2.5 hours, battling through a city centre twice. Not much fun. So anyway, drop a comment in the comments. Let me know how it's going. Leave a like, leave a comment as always. Obviously subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and come back for more. Catch you later.